All right, so a lot of videos for Saturday morning. I'll do a few of these. For number 4, I have a variable that's x, which is being multiplied by 6, added to 5, and that's giving me 29, right? So I'm going to do minus 5 first and divide by 6. 29 minus 5 is 24. 24 by 6 divided by 6 is 4. So that's easy to do. So I can get this answer. And again, repeat, you don't have to get that 4. But if you can, it definitely helps. That's step number 1, step number 2. So these are called two-step equations because they're two inverse operations that you have to perform to find the value of your variable. So let's get to it. So first thing I do is minus 5. Minus 5. These two will become 0, so I get 6x equals 24. So that's a check. The second thing I'm going to do is divide by 6. These two become 1, or x. And 24 divided by 6 is 4. So that's the second step I did. Now, I want to check. So in place of my variable, I'm going to write, so I'm going to leave it like plus 5 equals 29. So I replace the x with this blank, and I'm going to put a 4 in there. See if that works. 6 times 5 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 5 equals 29, and you can clearly tell. So this would be everything I'm looking for in this problem. Number 5, it's, again, a variable in this case is m multiplied by 9 minus 11. That's going to give us negative 2. If I do the inverse of each of the steps, I do plus 11, and then I'm going to divide by 9. Negative 2 minus plus 11 is 9, and 9 divided by 9 is 1. So let's see if that really happens. Equals negative 2. I'm going to divide my equation into two sides. I'm going to do plus 11, which is what this thing is telling me to do. So step 1 is plus 11. Plus 11. These two become 0. I get 9m equals 9. So the second thing I want to do is divide by 9. Positive 9, sorry. Divide by 9. These 9's become 1, and 1 times m is just m. And 9 over 9 is 1. So it matches what I had here before. Let's check. 9 times blank minus 11 equals negative 2. Why am I doing that? Equals negative 2. And over here, I'm going to replace that blank space with 1. 9 times 1 is 9. Now it's minus 11 equals negative 2. And this is truly negative 2. So don't cut corners. Show me the work like as it is in here. Okay. I will be picky when I'm correcting equations. 6. So we have a variable p that's being multiplied by 2, and then 13 is added to that, and that's all it's going to give me is 1. Working backwards, I'm going to subtract 13, and I'm going to divide by 2. So 1 minus 13 is negative 12, and negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. 1 equals 2p plus 13. So let's follow our little guideline here. First thing we do is minus 13. So it's minus 13 over here, minus 13 over here. So that's a check. So 2p, these two go 0, and this becomes negative 12. So I did that. Second thing I want to do is divide by 2 on both sides. And p is going to give me negative 6. Let's replace. 1 equals 2 times my variable plus 13. My variable is now has a value of negative 6. 1 equals, and then 2 times negative 6 is negative 12 plus 13. And Negative 12 plus 13 is 1. Clear. 7. We have a, which is being divided by 4. Add 3 gives me 12. So, working backwards, I'm going to minus 3 and then times 4. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So the variable has a value of 28. Let's just confirm it. First thing I do is minus 3. These two will become 0. I'm going to be left with 8 over or divided by 4. 10 minus 3 is 7. And in this case, the opposite of division, the inverse operation of division, is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by something and multiply this side by something, and that something is 4. On the left side, 4 times 7 is 28, so that's easy. But here, I can put the 4 over 1. I'm just going to show you why it equals 1. So before we multiply, we can simplify. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I have a bunch of 1s. 8 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 1 at the bottom is 1. So I have a over 1, which is just equals to a. Check. 10 equals blank over 4 plus 3. 10 equals, I don't know why I did that, but let me replace the blank here with 28. And I think I'm doing something wrong. Well, no. 28 divided by 4 is 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3 is 10, which equals to 10 on that side. 8. Did I say I was going to do a few or all? 8 is variable c divided by negative 2 minus 4 gives me 3. It's going to be plus 4 and then times negative 2. 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. And then let's actually do the work now. Minus 4 equals 3. First thing I do is plus 4 on both sides, right? Plus 4 here, plus 4 here. This goes adios. I'm left with c over negative 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. And then, so I did this. I'm going to do times negative 2 on each side. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 2, multiply this by negative 2. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. This and this will simplify to positive, right? Negative. And the negative is positive, and I'm left with over with c. Check. And again, I am writing everything, that equation, exactly. I'm copying exactly what I have here in the equation, except for the letter c. So in its place, I'm going to write negative 14. Negative 14 divided by negative 2 is 7. So positive. And 7 is going to be minus 4, and that equals 3. So again, all that shows that my equation is done correctly. Number 9, I get, again, a variable y, which is being multiplied by negative 5. Add 3 gives me negative 37. I'm going to do minus 3 and then divide by negative 5. So negative 37 minus 3 is negative 40. Negative 40 divided by negative 5 is going to be positive 8. So I get my answer. Let's make sure it is correct. So let's show this using inverse operations. First thing I have to do, according to this little chart here, is minus 3, minus 3. That goes adios. Minus 5y equals negative 40. That's done. So now I have to divide by negative 5. Cross, cross, y equals 8. So 3 minus 5 times equals negative 37. And in that blank space, I'm going to write 8. 3 minus 40, and 3 minus 40 is negative 37, which equals negative 37 on that side. Okay. 10, I guess I'm doing all of it. So I have a variable, and Because this is negative, I'm going to put a little 1 here. Okay, I have a variable d, which is being multiplied by -1, added 4, gives me 11. I'm going to do -4, and I'm going to divide that by -1, and you'll see why later. So 11 minus 4 is 7. 7 divided by -1 is -7. So let's do this. 4 minus, and I'm going to write 1d here. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is, don't know. It's -4, so -4 over here, -4 over here. And I get -1d equals 7. Now let me write this without the 1 here on the side. So I got -d equals 7. So you can say, this over here, we're not done because our variable is negative, right? But I think it's easier for you to see that if I put a 1, how this second step here comes into place. So if I divide both sides now by -1, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and then that d becomes positive, right? Because the whole thing becomes positive. And 7 divided by -1 is -7. Whereas, as here, without the 1, I don't know if some of you might not see that there's a 1 here, and that's why a negative and a negative becomes a positive. So that's why I put the 1 over there. You don't have to, but just visually, I think it's easier for you to see that that happens. So what number am I doing? 9, 10, 10. So it's 4 minus, and I'm going to put a blank for the letter d equals 11. And in place of that d, I'm going to put -7. Okay, so it's very important that you only, you're replacing that d. This minus sign was already there. It has nothing to do with the incoming minus sign that's coming here. So now you have a negative and a negative, so you can really write 4. If you change that to addition and change this to the opposite, it becomes 7. And 11, 4 plus 7 is indeed 11. 11, it's a variable n who's being multiplied by -2 at 1 gives you 7. Working backwards, we're going to do -1 and then divide by -2. 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 divided by -2 is -3. Well, let's see if that works. So, first thing I have to do is add 1. Sorry, -1. -1 this side, -1 this side. And I get 6. Over here, these two go adios, -2. Divide both sides, so this is done. Now we're going to do this step. We're going to divide both sides by -2. -2 and -2 becomes +1, and +1 times n becomes n. And 6 divided by -2 is -3. Check. 7 equals -2 times blank plus 1. And then instead of that blank, for the variable, I'm going to put my value, which we just found, which is -3. 7 equals a -2 times -3 is +6 plus 1. 7 equals 6 plus 1, which is 7. Last one, yay. Variable is k. So the last one's a little tricky. So I'm not going to do the story yet because I can't. I have this. So over here, the first thing I want to do is combine like terms, right? 6k minus 10k is the same thing as 6k plus -10k equals 16. 6k and plus -10k, there's more negatives, so it's going to be -4k equals 16. This is a one-step equation. If you like to write a story, it is going to look a little bit shorter. You have a variable k that's being multiplied by -4, gives you 16. Going backwards, I'm going to divide by -4, and 16 divided by -4 is just -4. So now if you were to do this and you follow, there's only one thing you have to do, which is divide both sides by -4. Divide by -4. Divide by -4. -4 divided by -4 is +1 times k is just k. And 16 divided by -4 is -4. So that's our value. To check, I'm going to put 6 times blank minus 10 times blank equals 16. I'll put a negative 4 here. No, I'll put a negative 4 over here. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. And then we have a multiplication here. And that's not a 10, it's a negative 10. So negative 10 times negative 4 is positive 40, equals 16. If we add these two, there's more positives. How many more? 16 more. And that's 16 equals 16. So, you know, we are okay. And that's it. Oh, that was shorter than I thought. Uh-oh. No.